Hey, it's Jeff Summers, and today a comparison of two watches that look practically identical, and the specs read identical. However, are they the same watch? And if so, why is this Carbinox watch 3 times more than this? Could this watch, the C16, be even better than the Carbinox Lux? We're going to answer these questions and find out. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Watch you know. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Okay, so let's see how these two smartwatches stack up against each other. There are many similarities and some differences. And after we compare them, I'll give you my thoughts about what I would do when faced with purchasing either of these two smartwatches. So let's get into this with the build quality and physical layout first. Nearly the same case. Carbinox claims that the case is made of titanium and aluminum. The C16 research that I did only mentioned that the case is metal, but the cases feel and look similar pertaining to materials used. And they're about the same weight. The straps are different on the two watches. It's the same type of rubber, and on both of the watches, the buckle feels rather light and cheap. There is a quick release for the Carbinox, which gives it a slight advantage. And there is some branding on the Carbinox, which the C16 really doesn't have. It's more of a generic watch. We see some Carbinox writing and branding on the top of the watch as you look at it, and of course on the back we see some branding there as well. They're both very large watches, and they measure 48 by 43 millimeters and 12.7 millimeters thick. There are 2 buttons, a power and a back button. They both are touchscreen. They both have a built-in 350 mAh battery, and it only needs 2 hours to fully charge. There's a standby period on both watches as long as 10 to 15 days. Now, it's kind of a big range, but I can tell you, regardless, they both have an incredibly long time that you can use the watch before you need to recharge it. They both have a 1.7-inch display, and they both use 280 by 320 pixel resolution. They have tempered glass, and they both have a kind of like a Gorilla Glass insert that comes installed. Unfortunately, as you see here on the C16, the installation wasn't so great from the factory because we have a little bubble here. But I guess I could take that off and replace it. But they don't give you a replacement on the C16, whereas the Carbinox, you get 2 Gorilla Glass inserts. Now let's talk about the features that are not on the Carbinox but on the C16, and that would be a flashlight, which is really not such a great flashlight. It's just when the screen lights up white. There's a calming breath tracker, which is kind of cool. Calms you down and you can breathe in and out with the watch. And there is a countdown timer. The function accuracy is pretty similar. The Carbinox is a little bit more accurate. Use your blood pressure cuff to verify, what your actual blood pressure is and your heart rate, but the heart rate's pretty close. The blood pressure tends to run a little bit high, but it gives you a basic ballpark range. Both have a TFT display, but there's more video graphics on the C16 as far as when you're going from one function to the other. They just appear a little bit better, in my opinion, on the C16. There are a lot of functions on these two smartwatches. They're similar, but look sort of different. They both have a heart rate monitor, blood oxygen monitor, which is really pretty accurate from what I've noticed. They have a sleep monitor. Now, I haven't been able to sleep with either of these watches on because they're quite large and it's just bothersome to sleep with them, which is a little bit of a downer there. And they both have a pedometer. There's 20 sports modes and all kinds of sports, anywhere from climbing to football to running. And of course, it'll track your walking like a pedometer from just daily activity. 30 meters of water resistant on both, and both have a Bluetooth 5.0 compatibility. They have a music remote function where you can start your music from the watch and operate it to your phone. You won't have any kind of sound coming out of the watch. There's no speakers there. Similar remote operation with the camera. Like you can take a picture with your phone by using the watch. You can read your texts. There's multiple alarms. And when you use the DeFit app, you will notice that there's countless watch faces. And I've had a lot of fun in downloading a lot of different watch faces for both watches. There are a few faces that are preloaded. It seems to me that the C16 seems to have more choices when using the DeFit app as far as the watch faces. There are some basic animations on some of the C16 watch faces, like the one that it comes with where there's like a globe spinning, but not so for the Carbinox. The preloaded initial Carbinox watch face is an American flag with the eagle. You'll have your current and forecasted weather. As I said, there's no speakers. I think I said that. There's no speakers and there's no microphone on the watch, but you, of course, can read your texts. There's shake to wake feature on both watches, and it works really well. The DeFit app can be synced to both Android and iPhones. Now, the packaging is very different. With the C16, you get the most basic packaging possible. It's just a simple, long, flat box, whereas the Carbinox Lux Black is very well packaged, and it's quite an unboxing experience, at least compared to the C16. There are some extras that you get with the Carbinox Lux Black. They give you a free tactical pen, and that's kind of cool, but it doesn't write, so it's not really like a pen per se. It just kind of looks like one. But within this tactical pen, you have a glass breaker, a compass, a knife, a fire striker, and a whistle. With the C16, you get no extras. It's just the watch. However, the price is very different. The Carbinox is currently going for $85 at the time of this filming, and the C16 is a fraction of that at $31. There are some other watches that seem to be very similar, if not the same, and that's the Cospet Rock and the Senbono C16. So what's better? The C16 has more features and slightly better graphics with substantially less money. Although there are some great things about the Carbinox and it has a more of a branding, it's not so generic, I really do think that if given the choice between the two watches, that I'd go with the C16. So if you think it's worth $60 for a quick release strap and better packaging, then certainly go for the Carbinox. But as for me, I'll take the C16 and spend my $60 savings elsewhere. Thanks for watching that video. on the two smartwatches, and hopefully this might help you in deciding which one to buy, or just for entertainment purposes. Maybe you enjoyed the video. If so, please consider subscribing to the channel. So have a great day, great night, great evening, whatever time it is, and I'll see you in that next watch review. Bye.